Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We were discussing the chapter water, in which we have read about different sources of water, use of water, and importance of water. Now we will discuss about some terms related to water, and first we will discuss about the different states of water. You know matter. What is matter? Matter is anything which occupies space and has weight. And matter exists in three states, that is solid, liquid, and gas. Similarly, water is also a matter and it exists in three physical states, that is solid, liquid, and gas. In the picture, you can see a glass of water. That glass of water is liquid state of water. Then you can see an ice cube. The ice cube is solid state of water. And you can see some gases, some clouds. That is gaseous state of water, and when water vapor condenses, it forms cloud. So, all the three states of water are interconvertible. When when ice is melt or when ice gets heat, it converts into water. When water is further heated, it becomes steam. In the picture, you can see that solid state ice on melting changes into water, and water again on heating changes into steam, that is gaseous state. When this steam is cooled down or condensed, it again forms water drops, or it's converted into liquid form. Then when this liquid form is again freezed, then it is converted into solid form or ice. So all the three states of water are interconvertible. Now we will discuss about some important terms, and first is evaporation. What is evaporation? From class 2-3 you are learning what is evaporation. The process of changing water into water vapor, means the liquid form of water into gaseous form, is called evaporation. In your daily life you can see a lot of examples of evaporation, like in the picture you can see. You must have observed that when we spread wet clothes on the rope or a wire, then they dry up after some time. From where does the water in the clothes goes? Water present in the wet clothes evaporate when it receives heat from the sun, and it forms water vapor, and it goes into the air. Similarly, water spilled on the floor dries up and disappears. Then water from roads, puddles, and rooftops also disappear after some time when the rain stops. All this water is evaporated. Then in seas, water is salty. It is contains a lot of salt. When sea water, in the last picture you can see, when sea water are, there are some holes built, and the sea water is collected on the discs, and then the water is evaporated, exposed to sun, it gets evaporated, and the salt is left behind. This is how we get salt from the sea water, by evaporation. Now we shall discuss the activity to show that heat is required to evaporate water. For this activity you need two plates, one measuring jar, and some water. What you have to do is, you would take two similar plates, place one of the plate in the sunlight and other inside your room or veranda under the shade. With the help of a measuring jar, pour equal amount of water in each of the plates, and observe the two plates after every 15 minutes. Now see what you observe. You will find that water in the two plates become less and finally disappear. Water in the plate kept in the direct sunlight disappear fast. Water in the plate which was kept in the room or in the veranda under the shade also disappear, but it took some time. Why? Because sunlight did not fall on it directly. From this we can say that then the water in the plate kept in direct sunlight disappear first, because it got heat from the sun directly, and heat required for the evaporation of water in the plate under the shade is indirectly provided by the sun when the water was inside the room. So from this we conclude that evaporation takes place from all the open surfaces during daytime by the heat of the sun. Next we will discuss about transpiration. What is transpiration? The loss of water by leaves of the plant is called transpiration. You know, we have discussed that leaves have small holes in them and that are called stomata. From these stomata, water drops evaporates from the plant, and this water evaporation of water, loss of water from the leaves is called as transpiration. So there are two processes by which water goes into the atmosphere. First is by transpiration and second is by evaporation. In the picture you can see that water comes on the earth as rain. This is called precipitation. And water evaporates from the earth's surface by goes to the earth from the earth's surface by either evaporation or by transpiration. Now we shall discuss a second activity. First we shall discuss about condensation. What is condensation? Condensation is the process in which water vapor converts into water on cooling. You must have seen that when you keep a glass full of ice or cold water on the table, you can see some small droplets outside the glass. Why? How is this small droplets found? Actually, the air in the atmosphere, when it comes in contact with the glass, it is cooled, it gets cooled and it is condenses, and the hot air forms water vapor. So the process of changing water vapor into water on cooling is called condensation. You must have seen the dew on the leaves, and when you keep ice or a bottle cold outside the fridge, the small droplets of water. This is due to condensation. On the leaves and grasses also you can see small drops of water. That is also by condensation. Now we will show how we will do activity to show that condensation of water happens on cooling. For this you need a glass, water and some ice cube. What you have to do is take a glass half filled with water, wipe out the outer surface of the glass with a piece of cloth so as to make the outer surface completely dry. Then add some ice cubes and wait for a few minutes to observe the change that takes place. You will see that large number of water drops appears on the outer surface of the glass. How is this droplets form? Actually, the air around the glass contains water vapor. The cold surface of the glass containing ice water cools the air around it, and the water vapor of the air condenses on the outer surface of the glass. This process is called condensation. So from this we conclude that water vapor condenses on cooling. Now we shall discuss water cycle. What is water cycle? You know, the water comes down on the earth only as rainfall, and this water again go back to the atmosphere. How, that we will discuss in water cycle. So there is a continuous movement of water from the earth's surface and water bodies as water vapor to the atmosphere, and from the atmosphere back on the earth's surface as rain, hail or snow, and this whole cycle is called as water cycle. This cyclic movement of the water is called as water cycle. To understand water cycle, we will first understand what is evaporation and transpiration. You know, by both these processes, as we have discussed, water goes out from the earth's surface to the atmosphere. Water from the water bodies such as rivers, seas and ponds and lakes, streams take out heat of the sun, takes and goes into the air in the form of water vapor. Large amount of water vapor enters the atmosphere and also through transpiration by plants. The process of then what happens when the water vapor reaches up, it becomes cool and condensation starts. The process of condensation in nature plays important role in the formation of clouds. Warm air can hold a large amount of water vapor. As we go high up in the atmosphere, temperature decreases and becomes cold. At a greater height, the air becomes so cold that the water vapor in it condenses to form tiny drops of water called droplets. These water droplets floating in the air along with dust particles forms cloud. Now third thing which happens is precipitation. The coming down of water in the form of rain, hail or snow is called precipitation. Water droplets combine together to form large water droplets. Some large water droplets are so heavy that the air cannot hold them and therefore they fall down as rain. However, if the temperature is very low, the water droplet freezes and form down as hail or snow. Then what happened? Then the water that falls on the land as rain flows in the river and streams. Snow from the mountain melts into water which flows down from the mountain in the form of streams and rivers, and all these rivers and streams at last meets the ocean or sea. So in this way the water is again get back into the ocean, and then again by the process of transpiration and evaporation it goes back to the atmosphere. Again it is cooled down, again come back to the earth. This cyclic movement happen all the time, and this is called as water cycle. This is all for today.